The Sports HQ here, episode 51. Talking about our journey to the ABCA that comes up later this week. Lots of other fun things. And Sheldon, how are you this morning?
Good morning. Doing well. Moving and grooving.
Yeah, but you're not moving exactly at 100%.
Yeah,
Leg day.
that was a mistake. I don't know why I let Sean talk me into that. I didn't even do as much as he did, dude. That dude is he's a menace.
Gotcha. Yeah, Sean won't be joining us today. He is away at a convention himself, and pretty excited to hear about that when he returns to us. I think we'll like cross paths in the middle of the week or whatnot, and we'll see him next week for sure. But yeah, so we're going to the ABCA. It'll be my first time. You've been before. What can I expect? Talk to me a little bit about that and all that good stuff.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. It'll be there's just tons of coaches, baseball coaches from all across the country that come. The one that I went to the first time was in Dallas, so that's where I had gone to the first one. And I mean, there's just presentations all over the place, and they have a huge vendor fair where there's just a lot of just different vendors that are inside of baseball, and just a ton of new tech and just new things. So there's just all kinds of stuff. But it's a huge networking thing. A lot of coaches for us. KCLB side anyway is just about kind of putting our names out there with other coaches across the country and building pipelines of players and just kind of seeing what people do, what they don't do, learning from different things. And then for us, as far as Summer Ball Showdown stuff's related, it'll be a good spot for kind of the same thing, like just being able to network different teams. And because there'll be a lot of summer coaches there. I mean, there's a lot of I would say the probably most in attendance is probably high school related. I mean, there's a lot of college too, so that maybe not. I don't know if the numbers exactly say that, but all the presentations and the stuff that they do, it seems like the high school guys are definitely like learning from the college guys at this. And a lot of the college guys are there more so to one, talk about what they're doing, but then also, learning from other colleges that are doing things a
Sure.
little bit different than they are.
I
So
I talked to Jenkins a little bit this weekend, and
yeah,
he said I'm just going to have a heyday.
yeah,
Like he said it was perfectly set up for what I do,
yeah,
and I was like, oh well, I have a couple meetings actually scheduled. One with Portalite Pitching Mounds. They want to do an interview and talk about our mounds and our partnership and all that stuff. So I think Friday is going to be pretty structured. Got to stop by Zephyr Hats,
yeah,
talk to them about stuff, say hi to our guy Roy. And then I'm gonna stop by Game Changers since we're switching over to that for the league and stuff in that regard. And then obviously some other places to really give back to our players. Maybe I can get Honey Stinger to get on board and
yeah.
just all that fun stuff to network. I've had a couple coaches reach out asking me if we're going to be there, and I was like, yeah. And they're like, all right, well, I'll text you when I'm there. That way we can connect, and maybe you can talk me into bringing a team this year, and
Hmm.
and so on and so forth. And so I'm pretty excited to go out there. It is in the homeland where I am from. It's about 45 minutes from where I was born, so that makes it fun too. Wonder if that oak tree is still there. I
Maybe.
I mean, 40 or 35 years later, I imagine it's still there unless there was a fire or something, because that thing was huge when I was a kid and running around in diapers. But
Yeah, I have a buddy. He'll be close to there that I know that I'm going to see if I can link up with him. But there'll be a lot of coaches and stuff that just are around and
the
just
Sheldon, the real question is, how far is Columbus from Chicago?
I know. I've already looked into it. Brian's up my like trying to go. So
Yeah.
we shall see. Tickets are insane
Oh, I
though.
can only
They
imagine.
are. I mean, the flight. I looked at a flight going from Ohio to Chicago just to see like what that would look like, and that wasn't too bad. But like going to the actual game, I mean, we were looking at anything that's even remotely decent. Over $1,000.
Jeez.
So
Well,
Wow.
then my question, the other question I have is what's closer, Philly
I
or
know.
Columbus?
Yeah.
I mean, the Niners travel out to Philly for their
When
game
do they play?
Sunday.
They play on Sunday.
They play the 3 o'clock game on Sunday or
Yeah.
whatever. They're not the Amazon Prime exclusive game
Yeah.
your Saturday game, but I'm pretty excited to go to Columbus and meet some new people, see some familiar faces and rep the Summer Ball Showdown and talk about all the fun things that we do to give back to our athletes that participate in our tournament. It is the
Sure.
largest in the country of its kind, and probably put a face with the voice that talks to them on the phone or through text message, however we connect and get people to really just see things.
Yeah. I think Summer Ball Showdown related, it's definitely like perfect. I mean, there's just tons of things that can come out of that that'll be super positive as far as the networking aspect is concerned, but then also just the FaceTime with some of these people that, you just
Have
get a
been on
lot.
the fence,
Well, you get a lot more traction, when they can see you and talk to you in person and actually like, okay, like you're a normal dude, not just this random guy that calls me. You know what I mean?
Right,
And
right.
that's just, the psychology of the sales portion of things. I think that's just kind of how it works is people it's real easy to run away from those phone calls, but when you're there in person and actually shaking a hand, like see a smile, have a good conversation, grab some food, whatever, like it just goes a long ways. So I think that, some of those teams we'll have to do a little bit of reconnaissance when we get there and go see where is what and who is where and that type of stuff.
Sure.
Because, I mean, the presentation side of it, at least, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, presentations are amazing. Like the stuff that they're talking about, like there is definitely some things in there. But for our purpose, we aren't really coaching, quote unquote, baseball. You know what I mean? And the vast majority of the presentation stuff is more towards coaching related things.
Sure.
Whereas our what we're going to be, trying to do is more of the networking aspect, but then also just the bumping shoulders, talking to people.
But we're going to see a lot of people out there. I mean, we're going to see several
Tons.
of our coaches too.
Yeah, we got a handful. I don't know.
I think you'll see Jenkins,
I
you'll
know
see
he's going.
Cam,
Cam's going. Baca will
Baca.
be there.
I'm trying to think who else said they're going to be there. The Pumas are going to be there.
Park City won't be there. VC won't be there. Elda won't be there.
I haven't
Gage won't be there.
I haven't
So
verified if Beatty will be there or not yet, but who
yeah,
knows?
about half.
Yeah.
You can call it half of the league if you count us in there too.
Yeah.
Is going. So that side of it I think would be pretty cool. Being able to meet, with some of the guys that have coached at different schools and going and sitting down and talking with them about, what they got going on and that type of stuff. And so that'll be fun. I mean, I'm excited to just get to talk to people and, go about and see the trade show is really a cool thing. Like I'll spend a vast majority of my time, I'm sure, in that. Not necessarily trying to buy things, but just connecting with the people that are inside of that side of the sport.
Our sample game is going to be strong.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Yeah, it's similar to going to like Costco or Sam's Club, hopefully, and
yeah. Oh, it's
Mm.
dude. I'm telling you, like it's massive. Like it's crazy how many people get into these things. But when they do these, I mean, this is like the city convention center. You know what
Sure.
I mean? Like it is a big space, and there is not much room left. Like they pack that thing.
Well, I went on the website and looked up the vendors that are going to be there, and I didn't print it out, but I probably will just to circle where I want to go and who I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
I mean the fun thing is that our title partner with the Summer Ball Showdown is the like triple crown sponsor of this event as the official portable pitching mound of the ABCA. So seeing them grow and move in a great direction is awesome.
Yeah.
We in 2025 we debuted that mound that then went on sale, and hopefully these guys want to buy those
Yeah.
and use them because we love them. They're awesome. Minus trying to lift them above your head. other than that, they're
Yes.
awesome and they do a great job.
Yes. No.
But
I'm looking at the presenters right now. Kyle Crooks is going to be there, Central Missouri's coach,
nice.
which is kind of cool. I mean, Division II guy speaking on the main stage. Don Mattingly
Hey,
going to be doing some keeping hitting simple with Don Mattingly. I'm sure that's a fun one. What else here? Who else we got? I don't know. Those are the ones that I know that pop off. Anyway,
I wonder, do you think some big leaguers come out there after
Oh,
their
yeah.
career and they're coaching baseball somewhere, and
For sure.
you'll see some of those guys? That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's Damon Hall, Baltimore Orioles. You got who is this? Rachel Folden with the New York Mets.
Some operations people.
Tony Clark, MLB Players Association.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. Mattingly's obviously. Jackson State. The rest of them are all college and university people. But that's on the main stage. I don't know if they may have a couple other. I think there's a youth session right here. That one would be an interesting one to go and see who's there.
Now I'm gonna fall back into one of our previous conversations. I'm excited to get you to try Skyline chili that does not have beans.
We'll see. They're there.
Skyline chili is an Ohio thing, and they have
It's beanless.
It's beanless, and
Skyline
it goes on your chili dog or whatever. So I might try to find some and get you to try it. We'll see what kind of food they have there. It's always with the Summer Ball Showdown, the food is always a topic of conversation, and of course, when I go places, the food is always a topic of conversation to check out and see what people are partnering with, and maybe bring some new and innovative ideas to our tournament. So it's just kind of I'm excited to put it that way. I'm not excited to be up at 4:45 in the morning and at the airport, but. I think are we going to be in a different time zone?
I think so. Because I just know that because when I looked going from Ohio to Chicago yesterday, when I was looking at those, it was like hour and a half, but it was
the same time.
But it was like
leave at 9,
6:15, get there at 6:30. I was like, what?
Yeah. So we'll be in a different time zone. Have to figure that out. I don't necessarily know. What all we'll do for the podcast. I mean, it would be cool to go live from our phones or whatnot, but I don't know if we'll podcast during that or not.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to be a lot of different things. So if you're interested in what we're getting into, I will probably go live on the Summer Ball Showdown. Hopefully,
we might be able to get like a little tripod or something for these. Maybe take one or two of them and.
Yeah,
just have to or
something along those lines. I mean, we don't necessarily need the cameras; we can do it from our phones.
Yeah,
but having the computer and stuff like that would be good for editing purposes and linking all of the accounts, which I do plan on taking. But just being able to do that, maybe our time changes to doing it at a different time.
Yeah,
and that in itself is pretty cool. So, but yeah.
God, they have so many meetings at this thing. I'm just looking at all of because this is like because all those coaches are there, So like a lot of them take place on Thursday, but they do awards meetings. They've got All-America meetings, high school playing rules committee meeting. Let me see here. Division I, II, and III rules meeting. Thursday at 6:30. That would be a just barn burner of a thing, just to sit and listen to umpires talk for an hour. High schools meetings, Division I coaches meeting, Division II coaches meeting, Division III coaches meeting. Like that's youth and travel baseball coaches meeting. Like what? It's crazy.
Sean, if you're watching because you've commented, okay, I understand you prefer beans in your chili. It's okay. I get it. We can all be different.
It's just not chili if it doesn't have beans. It's a topping. It's a cool topping, I guess. But,
I guess. Anyways, but But yeah, with all of those meetings and the trade show, I kind of look at it as what we do here in town with going to fall festivals, going to the cities
Yeah.
with their stuff, saying hello, doing some meet and greets, and being involved. This will be a cool way to be involved and engage in some of the things that have I don't know, haven't happened in the last 5 years. We're moving into year 6, so it's going to be fun to do and be a part of that.
For sure. Yeah, it'll be fun. I see Game Changers got a thing
Oh, yeah.
Friday, 2 o'clock. Go chat with those dudes. Pocket Radar, some of the teams, PitchCom. So a lot of this stuff that's tech that some teams have, some don't. That type of stuff. But it'll be pretty cool. It's going to be a fun event. And
I don't even know what to say to
What did
that
he say?
comment.
Sean making some comments.
Yeah, we can't be different.
Oh,
There's truth in this world and there's lies.
oh my goodness.
No, Sean, I agree with you. There's truth and there are lies. I
Goodness
mean, but
gracious.
there is no lie that I'm allowed to not have beans in my chili. So I'm gonna. With that being said, we might go live and just have Sheldon try some Skyline chili.
Yeah. It'd be cool. I mean,
I
one
mean-
thing that we should do while we're there, though, is like just maybe find some people to interview. I think that would be fun if we could find a few people that maybe got some sort of tie back here to town some way, somehow,
Sure.
that we quote unquote haven't met. I don't know. But see if we could, find some people there, do some interviews while we're there, set up something. Because
Sure.
that's one big thing that I remember last time is they have all of the sections where you go and like the trade show and the meeting stuff and all of that. But really where a lot of the business, like they do all of these like, oh, hey, here's a ticket, come to our thing, here at 10 o'clock tonight,
Mm-hmm.
And so then you like go meet with them, go sit down with them.
Meet the
like,
brass or whatnot, and,
Pretty
and
much,
stuff
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
So they have like little suites, that they're like, oh, hey, yeah, you got to have a ticket, but, we'll have food and drinks here at 7 o'clock after we're finished up over here, whatever. So we could probably split up and, go check out different ones that we like and maybe do some interviews and those things and talk with some people.
Yeah.
But that would be cool. But
Yeah, there's
it's a
just-
cool event, man.
there's-
It's a lot
there's
of fun. I'm excited for you just to get out and, like I said, do the networking, let people kind of see the face and be able to, just really get a chance to actually physically talk to people in person is kind of a in this sport, it's important.
Absolutely.
Other sports might be a little bit different, but in baseball, like people want to shake your hand. They want to know who you are. They want to sit down with you. Like, especially if we're talking about getting players or teams, that type of stuff. Like they want to know that there's a good feel there before they just start, sending things and doing stuff with you.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Absolutely. And, our end goal is to do what we say we're going to do and make
Right.
it happen and build a partnership that truly just, means something to both parties and then provides for our players.
amen to that.
So other than that,
And then maybe find my way to Chicago. I don't know.
what's that drive look like? Is it
It's like 5 hours. I'm not doing that.
piece of cake?
I don't want to rent a car.
Yeah, no, that would be wild.
But we'll see.
It is a Saturday game, so
That's the only reason that it may work. Because if it's on Saturday and Brian's there, then I could go there and either come back and then fly home on the original flight or just go there and then fly out that next morning. And I can try and make it work, but I
Yeah.
don't know.
however
50-50
that
ball.
looks, yeah, for sure.
We'll
who
see.
who knows on that one? That's
The hard part is, I just can't fathom the idea of paying that much for a football game. That's my holdup. The flight's actually pretty cheap, but $1,000 to go to a football game, like when I could just watch it on TV.
Yeah,
I don't know.
and not be cold.
Yeah, I'm not
Whether
sure.
it's going to be cold up there or not. I did look at the weather.
Oh, it's gonna be cold, guaranteed. It'll
Well,
be cold.
for Columbus.
Oh no, Chicago is gonna be.
Yeah, it's
cold.
gonna be about the 50s with some rain and stuff like that. But
Maybe
I'm-
Brian will give me a late Christmas present. I knew he's holding on to it for me.
it's the third meeting for the Packers and the Bears.
Yeah,
Who knows?
we should whoop them.
Yeah, I hope so.
We'll
I
see.
hope so. I'm just praying that we can meet in the championship game.
Yeah, you would have. How would that look?
Well,
So if you win in Philly, you guys are the 4.
we're the
You're the
6.
6. So then you would play the winner of the Rams and who's the other team?
Carolina.
So the Rams.
I don't know. Carolina beat them.
Yeah, but
You never
we're
know.
talking about Stafford in the
You
playoffs.
just don't know.
I get it, but
You just don't know. I mean, you're
winning in Philly will be, if you can do that, you'll have a lot of momentum.
oh
You know
yeah,
what I mean? Because that's a tough place to win.
because you'd
That
have to go
place is
to
awesome.
you win, and then you'd have to go to
We go to
Seattle.
Seattle, yeah. Which, that's normal for us. Just love going on the road. I swear.
Well,
our
your
dudes-
players do.
I'm telling you,
yeah.
dude. Our dudes, they'd rather do it. They don't want to play in the cold. They don't want to. They're just too young. We ain't got no veteran leadership that's like, no, this is an advantage for us.
Sure.
Our guys they want to be warm. They're more prima donnas.
Well, we'll step away
How
from
about old Trevon Diggs, though? Old boy looked pretty good for a practice squad game.
I tried to watch that game and it kicked me off. So
That's probably because I was watching.
yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, let's step away from the ABCA talk and talk about, it's Black Monday for the NFL. And Raheem Morris is gone. Stefanski's gone. Who knows what'll all transpire throughout the rest of the day. Coaches on the hot seat.
Yeah, I didn't even know this was a thing, so you're educating me. I've never heard this before.
What, Black Monday?
Yeah.
They talk about it all the time on the last week of the year. So
Really?
yeah. Yeah. So, like there's several coaches that are linked to like the Titans or whatever. Like Zach Taylor's staying with the Bengals. Matt Ryan is looking to join the staff at on the Falcons. The Dolphins hired
Troy
Aikman. Just doing some crazy things there. I mean, it started early when you're looking at Raheem Morris and that
one's kind of surprising to me.
and
honestly.
that GM. Yeah, well, I mean,
don't get me wrong. Like, they blew some games, but like, I don't know. I don't feel like he's doing a bad job. I mean, they're not in the playoffs, obviously,
right?
And there's obviously probably a ton of behind the scenes there, but
I think you'll see Pete Carroll get let go. That kind of thing just
why? Why were they they just got him.
Doesn't matter. I mean, they have the number 1 overall pick. I think he's going to be a casualty termination because there's some coaches out there, like they're saying that the Baltimore Ravens could let go of Harbaugh. 19 years there, and you want to let him go?
No shot they're getting rid of Pete Carroll. They just signed him.
Dude, they have the number 1 overall pick, and
why would what's that matter
who
though?
knows? There's been some crazy stuff that has happened.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like they signed him to be like, hey, we know we suck, but we need you to just get us going the right direction. We're going to give you 3 years to do it.
How does it look for the Jets though? 0 interceptions.
First team in history, right?
First team in
Since
history.
they started recording that?
The actual
Crazy
quarterback
stat.
rating was 110
Holy.
against the Jets, and that's wild. I mean,
Yeah, that's a crazy stat.
yeah, I just thinking about all that, and then we're walking into Wild Card Weekend. You have some more CFP games. Let's touch on that picture you sent, the transfer portal.
Oh my goodness,
dude!
yeah.
That was mind blowing. So the transfer portal opened on the 2nd?
Yes.
So
The first day there was over 20% of Division I players in it.
right,
And then it climbed even higher by day 4, I think, that it's been open.
yeah. So
Is
the
when
portal
I sent that, right?
the portal shows over 4,500 players in it. That's 31.5% of all college football, and the portal has been open for 2 days. Is the portal a problem? I think honestly the problem is instant eligibility. Like those guys know that they can go, but you made a fair point in saying that maybe some coaches say, hey, look, you should probably go in the portal because you're not going to play here. I'm just trying to look out for you because I'm going to bring some people in.
Yeah.
I mean, really, you don't know those backdoor conversations.
There's a bunch. I mean, I think in the obvious stuff, yes. Like I think that there's probably a lot of good situations that are happening because of the portal. But and when I say good, my brain, no different than like Carter. You know what I mean? Like he's in the portal because his head coach is leaving and he's gonna go with his head coach.
Sure.
Right? Like those style of situations, that makes total sense.
Loyalty.
Yeah. Like, and that's really, I mean, the shakeup that you see, I don't know what the percentage is because that thing that I sent obviously didn't have that. But when you talk about the percentages that probably are connected to that, I would say it's a probably decent amount, but oh my gosh, Sean. They asked me to speak at ABCA, but I politely declined. I didn't want to take any spotlight away from Donnie Baseball. This guy. But, so like those style of situations, like you have to go through that same process, I guess, to do it. So it's just kind of what it is. But I don't know. Like there's got to be some sort of shift in that at some point in time because it's the cultural problem that it breeds is bad for sports. Like there's really just no other way around it. It's you don't like it here. Okay, we'll just enter the portal and see what happens. Oh, you don't like it here? Enter. I was watching that dude, the last chance you guy, the dude that's like crazy. He was coached at, I think it was at Indy. What was that? God, I can't think of his name. He has a podcast. He's wild, but he was talking about like this guard for Oklahoma State who was going on these visits. Like he played at Oklahoma State.
Okay.
He enters the transfer portal and then he announces on his social that he's going on these visits. And like the first one is Auburn, the second one's like Arkansas or Arkansas State or something, and then there was another school, and then the fourth one was Oklahoma State. And dude, he just unloads on it. He's like, "What the are you talking? You're going back to your same school? You're already there, you stupid!" Like he's just going wild. But it's the same. He was like, why? Like,
I mean, is entering the portal becoming a negotiation tactic for
100%.
NIL money? I mean,
100%.
Everybody wants the payday or anything like that. It doesn't always seem like the value is there when you're just trying to pay for your education.
Yeah.
Now it becomes money over education, and I've always personally been education over everything.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I've been in the shoes of a lot of these dudes, not at the same level, obviously, but so I get it to some extent. Like you want to find the best opportunity, but for what it's changed is it's not about the best opportunity to play. It's about the best opportunity financially first, school and everything else second, third, fourth,
Right.
fifth down. And for some of these things, school isn't even really on the thing.
Mhm.
Like it's really just where's the most money, and then where is my life, going to be a better decision. Like, so like, and when you look at it from that aspect, it's like, okay, like I get it. Like this school wants to pay me $100,000. This school doesn't. Going to this school,
Sure.
like, and when you look at it like X's and O's and keep it simple like that, like, sure. But the problem is when there's absolutely no loyalty to anything and you can just buy whatever it is that you're going to buy, then you got to change the whole system. And
Right.
that's
the Texas
what
Tech problem.
right. And that's the issue here.
Or A&M.
I'm not against these players going and getting paid and doing it. And like, in theory, I totally get the where they're at, right? Like I understand, but there's got to be some sort of like, if that's the direction that we're going to go, then just make it like professional sports. They sign contracts.
A contract, yeah.
They're there for this long, like, because then it's just, hey, now we can not necessarily control it because there's obviously, you even see in the NFL, like contract disputes, all that type of stuff. Like you see that, but then you're at least on a playing field where everybody knows the X's and O's. Like everybody understands all the outs and all the different things. And now, granted, does that take away from college experience, college culture, college? Yeah, like there's going to be some
responsibilities.
Yeah, there's going to be some issues there.
Accountability in today's world, no matter what sports.
Yep. And there's got to be a distinguishing level and factor, because where we feel it, right? So like from our level of sports that we do on a day-to-day basis, the difference now is now we talk to kids and they all think that they're going to be this.
Mm-hmm.
And the realities of that is they're just consuming what social media is shoving down their brains.
Absolutely.
So then all of a sudden they live in this unrealistic approach to college sports, but then they treat it the same way, right? So like we got kids that are doing this same process between JUCOs and NAIAs
Right.
and stuff like that. And it's the level difference in that type of thing is just nowhere near the same thing. But you get kids that literally, well, I'm not getting much opportunity on my JUCO team over here. And so I'm thinking about answering the transfer portal. And I'm like, okay.
it glorifies what's happening in youth sports.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, like we started this team, but we're going to get kicked off of it. You know, we're going to get voted out. My kid's not going to play enough. So we're just going to hop to a different organization, new organization here, new organization there. You know, all of that becomes a trail into you know NCAA or college sports in general.
Yeah,
I think the other side of it is, you know, when the NIL first came out, there were kids making more money than they would at the professional level.
Oh, and there's some of them that made that money and never even wanted to play professional sports,
right?
Because they made it, they saved it, they said, you know what, I'm good. I don't want to put my body on the line anymore. And that's the part of me and the player in me where I'm like, yeah, like that's the part of it where it's kind of cool, but it changes the whole dynamics.
Oh, absolutely.
And so trying to operate in this, you know, gray area of what it's going to be, what it's not going to be, like that's the part that I think they got to get fixed. Like NCAA has to put some constraints on it. They got to put limits on it. They got to put it into a bubble, because if it's just the Wild West, then just treat it like professional sports, which is fine. Like if that's the direction everybody, you know, that you go, no problem. But if you're going to go that direction, like the parameters are just going to change. And then when they change, then everybody gets the same level playing field, which that's the part of it that I like. Like that's the part of it that I think is cool. And I think that's how the real world is, you know, like,
so would you suggest a NIL salary cap?
Yeah, in some aspects,
you know,
something along those lines.
Yeah, you know, where
they've
you can
been
only
talking about a limit that the athletic programs have, right? So if you're a Division I in this conference, this is the limit. You know what I mean? Now, all rules are going to be broken, right? They've been breaking the same college rules for forever,
absolutely.
right? So, and I think that's kind of the workaround is always going to be happening, but at least then you have some sort of, you know, something you can stand on, right? Because then if Alabama gets caught, you know, doing something behind enemy lines and they're, you know, screwing this up, doing that, like then there's repercussions for it.
Sure.
And you can at least say that something's there. Right now, there ain't nothing.
No,
you know,
it's
like,
just pew 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 pew.
Exactly.
I mean,
yes.
What they proposed is, you know, look at the Texas rosters for A&M or Texas Tech. Some of them were bigger than most teams.
Yeah.
You know, that I don't know. You know, you have oil money down there and all that good stuff, but that can't buy a championship.
Well, players are still going to have to play, but
I think NIL brings a little form of stagnation. You know, I'm making money, I just need to stay here. Whereas, you know, making it to that next level is traditionally who puts in the hard work, who shows up every day and does the things that people don't do.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to separate class for sure, because you're going to have programs that like A&M or, you know, Bama or Florida or any of these massive, massive schools where they will find ways to pump the money into the programs to make them competitive. So if we know that that's going to happen, then the best course of action, at least in my brain, is, okay, well, we have a limit. Here's the rules to the limit. Here's how you can get there. Here's what you can spend. Here's how you can do it, right? No different than NFL salary cap. Everybody's got to play within the cap. But then there's always little ways to, you know, everybody, I mean, cap is just this facade of a thing. People just find ways to get around it.
Loopholes in deferment and all kinds of stuff.
Which is fine, but then you're all playing by the same options, right? Because then everybody has the same opportunities to kind of do the thing. When you can just, you know, inject and influx money at any given rate, no matter what, where, when, how, you're going to eventually, it may not happen year one, but over a 3 to 4 year period, you're
could
going to
explode.
control the market.
Yeah.
Like you're going to control the way that it works. And so that's the part of it, but it's also there's got to be some spillover effect there. There should be some sort of way because what you're going to find out is your Division 2 schools and Division 3 schools are going to be the ones that suffer the most. Junior colleges are still going to be a thing because it's already cheap enough to go there to where they don't pay anything anyway if
Right.
you're a good athlete. And the bounce period essentially from JUCO into a 4-year is really like your only option, like that's the whole idea behind JUCO.
And most of the time that's pretty successful.
Yeah, and that's where a lot of these programs are going to pull people from now because same thing. And granted, there's outliers, but from a college coaching perspective, do I want a kid that I can pay the same amount of money that has 2 years of college experience, or do I want a kid that's going to have 0? And if they are the same level of player, I'm taking the kid with experience 10 out of 10. Like very rarely.
Right. It just depends on your loyalty to growing that
Sure.
athlete.
And
True.
yeah, but they won't have it if they're buying it.
Right.
That's
right.
the difference
Right.
now. Is development in 4-year schools is not going to be as prevalent. They'll still do it. Like it's not like they're going to completely cut it off completely, right? There's guys that they see coming out of high school that are like, okay, this dude is like, he's a draft guy. He's going to go. He's going to do this. Like, we got to get him in the fold, and we're going to try and win him over, because that's what it turns into. It turns into a sales thing. They're just trying to win him.
But even in some of that stuff, JUCOs, you can be drafted after your second year. Yep. If you're a 4-year starter at a 4-year school, you have to wait 3 years. I mean, those rules are in place.
It's where the caps start to be a big thing because just put yourself in their shoes. If I'm I'm a football guy and I'm a sophomore at a JUCO and Texas A&M calls me and offers me $5 million a year to come and play, well, if that's the situation, what is the point of me trying to get drafted and go to the NFL? Like the money is roughly the same for most, depending on where you get drafted, obviously, first round guy to, 6th round, whatever. But then you look at like, okay, I can go to this place where I'm playing college sports, which are inherently way less than pro sports. It starts to shift the way that these kids start to make decisions because they're like, well, I get the same amount of money. I'm going to live the life of a pro athlete, probably even more so because the responsibilities are less and they get everything done for them and just all the things. And it's a safer option for the same amount of money. And all they're doing is having fun. Like they're just,
but there's no maturity in that either. And that is another thing that really sets it apart because, like what we do with the SBS and the KCLB is we try to inject our players into the communities, help them become better young men.
Well, and we also deal with, your higher percentage of collegiate athletes, which is probably over 95% of them aren't playing Division I prime time like sport. Like it's just, the reality is there is more college players that aren't those guys or girls than there is, and that's we're dealing with regular athletes, which sounds they're still collegiate athletes. Like they
which takes a lot of work to do. Don't get me wrong.
Like
it's a commitment.
Yeah, they are already the top 1% of the people that are trying to play sports. So these guys are there, but then you start looking about these guys that are playing at these levels, getting this kind of money. They're the 0.0001%, you know.
Right.
And then professional sports are the 0.00001%. But that's the part of we glorify it, and it's televised and it's always seen, right? Like, there's a ton of good talent at Butler County Community College right down the road.
Absolutely.
Like football, baseball.
Right across the street at Friends.
Like, yeah, Friends. Like these guys are all freak athletes over here in these things. Most of them can't even sniff those opportunities. There might be one guy on each of those teams that's going to have the opportunity to maybe go and do some of this stuff. And it's just like people just don't grasp the how difficult it is. And then you start to add all of this stuff in there as well too, and it just starts to muddy the waters, and the portal thing becomes an out, but it also just becomes a a shopping tool
Oh, yeah.
of just, trying to go to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next
Gotta be
thing.
quicker than
Yeah.
that.
It's just because most of the kids, and here's the reality, is most of the kids, especially JUCO kids, you know, most of them need more time. Like the reality is they need to develop more, right?
Sure.
High school kids coming out, the highest, 99 point whatever percent of them need more experience to be able to compete at high level college sports. But they don't want to worry about that. Like they just want to go get the best opportunity. And so the developmental side of the whole thing is really what's going to take the biggest hit, and you're just going to see money flying around all over the place, taking risks on this guy or that girl or whatever. And when they don't pan out, it's like, all right, buy the next one. And they don't pan out, buy the next one. And it's
Yeah.
just rinse and repeat that process, because you're talking about a fund that has no limits.
Instant gratification.
Like,
You know,
there's just
this didn't work out.
Yeah,
See
there's
ya.
no,
Let's
budgetary
on to
portion
the
to
next.
it.
Nobody wants to work through the challenges and invest in people.
Yeah,
I think
because
that's
it's crazy.
I think that's wild in all of the world. My question is, we hear about the NIL so much about college football, but how do you think something like that, with if they were to impose a rule for, a budget for the sports programs, do you think that plays into baseball as well? I mean, we don't hear a lot of NIL opportunities for baseball.
No, they're
But
there. I mean, there's guys that are playing D1 ball are getting, they're getting stuff. Is it the same size as football programs? No, not even remotely close. But I mean, I think that there's going to be that I would guess, and I don't know this, this is a pure guess, like all things that are made by scholastic decision makers, they don't really know sports. And so a lot of times there's this reference and this like issue, right? There's friction on, because all sports programs in schools, like they want everything to be equal, and that's just not how it works. And I mean, I can tell you firsthand, there's college coaches that I talk to all the time that leave the colleges they're at because the college doesn't invest into their programs, right? They put it into their liberal arts program or whatever, which is fine, and that's, if that's what the college's purpose is, I'm sure there's numbers to back some of those decisions. But there's got to be some sort of way where they can put those parameters on these large schools, right? I think there's 260-ish some odd Division I schools, right? So then you break that down by conferences, right? And then you look at those numbers based on those conferences, and then you determine, because they know these numbers, like any business, because college is business like anything else, right? So they can go look at the football program and say, well, this is net revenue at whatever billions of dollars. It's not millions, it's billions. So if that's what the net revenues look like, then you're able to kind of go down that track and say, okay, well, here's how we need to, bracket what it is that makes sense for our entire conference.
Yeah.
And then, but getting people to agree on that.
Well, that's very similar to the way the MLB operates.
Yep.
So they, the small market teams who don't have primetime viewing or something like that, they have a pool of money that is sent out to those lesser teams. I mean, but we've talked about that before. Like the Pirates, they call themselves a small market team. They have some big players on there, but their owner doesn't invest like the others do, and he's sitting on bees, and
but that's what I'm talking about in that same scenario. We're talking about professional,
right?
But he has the same opportunity,
yes,
as everybody else.
Correct.
He chooses not to, right?
Correct.
So you can't.
But are you saying that if they did something like this for the college, that the college would then have that same opportunity and make that decision, or the conference itself, or should it be something that's enforced for equal opportunity and play?
Yeah, I think it's got to be a little bit of both, but I don't know who makes that decision.
That's it. Let's start it up. Let's start that consulting, and
I don't know
go to work.
Who gets to enforce that. I'm sure there's a committee of something somewhere out there, but yeah, there's got to be. If they want to clean it up, there's got to be some sort of, parameters that are put in place. And
Yeah, I don't know. That it just blew my mind to see 35.1%.
Didn't blow
I
mine at
mean,
all.
I just
I almost expected it.
I think it's probably going to grow some more,
100%.
but I think the real problem is if you're actually going to see 50% on there, that's a real problem.
Well, and here's where this is the part that I think players overestimate or they underestimate. I don't know if it'd be over or under, maybe both. But what happens is these, because I do recruiting every day, right? So I can go on X right now and I'll see 50 baseball players that were at these Division 1 schools and they're all transferring, right? And what does that mean to me? Well, if they're transferring immediately, that means like if they're a younger guy and they got 3 years of eligibility or something like that, means that they probably didn't contribute much to that team. Okay. And this is the part where I think players they overestimate the fact that you're at a Division 1 school, that it means more than it really means, right? Because then they're sitting there thinking, oh, well, I was here, so I'm going to go to another school that's around here. Well, those other schools that are around there that are that Division 1 level, if you're not playing for them and we're better than them, why do you think that you need or deserve an opportunity to play for us, right? And I think that players kind of overlook that because they think that as a calling card, like it's like something that helps them. So who wins in those scenarios? Well, that's where Division 2s, Division 3s, these places that obviously are not going to have the same style of money behind it.
Right.
But now you're going to see a lot of these kids that go into the portal that sit there and sit there and sit there. And then they're going to be showing up to the end of summer with no opportunities. They're not signed anywhere because they overestimate the fact that, well, I'm entering the portal with this much eligibility. There's got to be another Division 1 school that wants to take me. And then their ego gets involved, and that's where the real problems happen because when your ego is in there, you're like, well, I'm not going to go to D2. I've been in the D1. Blah, 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 blah. Right. And it's like, well, dude, if you were as good as you say you are and you were contributing to a level of team like that, then why are you not at the place that you're already at, number one? And number two, how in the world, do you expect to drive value for yourself if you weren't able to make it there?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's
that's
where they... I see the baseball guys all the time. And then, and they're, we talk to them and we're like, hey, like we can do this. Let's do this, blah, 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 blah. And then it's just like,
I know because they don't want to put in that work.
Yeah,
it's just it's
a spiraling factor.
Character
sure.
and stuff like that. I remember a few years ago, a player came in and he was like, yeah, I'm going to the MLB. I'm like, you'd already be there if you. I mean,
who are you talking to from the MLB?
But you're here. We want to help you and stuff like that. And then you proceeded to not wash the dishes.
Oh, and then wanted to,
all the ice was gone.
Some kids are just
it's. I think when you
unrealistic expectations.
Yeah, I mean, when you're the best at your school, let's say there's 100 people in there, and you go to another school and you have a great opportunity and you don't take advantage of it, and you're up against all the other kids that are really good at their school, who are coming in. I
think every D1 kid we've had on the podcast, every single one of them has said, well, yeah, I was one of the best, if not the best, at my high school program, and then I showed up here, and I was not even close to being one of the best.
Right.
And they, it immediately. Like, that's the jump. And it doesn't mean that they can't work to get there, but it's just very rare, very rare that these freshman phenoms just come walking onto campus. Like, it's just they're not, even if they're physically built, even if they have all of the attributes, they have all the skills, like, they have the physicality portion of it. The mental side of the game takes time to develop. And it doesn't matter what sport. Like it very rarely are true freshmen out there like impacting at the highest level. Like they may contribute here and there.
Yeah, but but
it's so rare to see like true freshman kids, because we're talking about kids that are 17, 18 sometimes. Like they're not mentally developed enough.
But if they were there, they would have been drafted in the baseball world because you can pull them right out of high school.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But if they're not, you have to take them up. And
I mean, off the top of my head, I don't know of one baseball related wise, like a true kid that gets drafted out of high school that goes straight to the MLB and is playing and contributing that year.
No,
I've
no,
never heard of
they
that.
get him in that minor
Paul
league system.
Skeens was the closest one recently, but he was a college guy,
Yeah.
but I did like from a high school. I don't
No,
know.
they go in the developmental program
Yeah.
and work their way up, and 3-4 years down
Right.
the road, they're making their show appearance.
Yeah, and then I mean, even when you look at Division I football, how many the Alabama wide receiver, that guy was a true freshman, but that's one in a million. Like it's just
Ohio State's
is he a freshman?
Smith.
Smith?
No, he's a sophomore, true
Right.
sophomore. I mean, he
Right.
has one more year that he can play, and then obviously,
But that's what I mean though. Like when you think of like true freshmen coming into college that could play at the professional level or play at the Division I level,
very
like, it's just-
minimal. Like you
very rarely. Like
Yeah.
Bryce Harper was a guy that I remember that was up there pretty quick, but he doesn't get drafted and then immediately go into the bigs. I don't
No.
think. Like the only guys that you may have known that you just don't know their names might be some like Dominican guys, Puerto
Mhm.
Rican guys, things like that. And who knows how old they are? Like those dudes may be 28 and they tell you they're 17.
I'm 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
So I definitely understand that, but yeah, that's a big topic for me right now. Just looking at all that stuff because it was mind blowing on that side, and I think that's a real problem.
Yeah.
So and we deal with college athletes all the time and try to help them grow in their game and do all the things that they, their dreams are, because at one point we were those people.
Well, and I just hope the kids that listen, like, dude, take advantage when opportunities present themselves. Like, don't get me wrong. Think about it, pray about it, go through it, like that type of stuff in the decision making process for sure. But there is something to be said about programs that want you to be there and
Mhm.
the value that comes with that. I just think that gets overlooked because they're always thinking about something better. They're always thinking about, well, this over here seems cooler. This is that, like actually having a program want you there if your goal is to play the sport, right? Like if your goal is about playing and contributing to the team and being a team player and like all of that stuff, go to the program that wants you to be there. Like, and then you can earn your way along the way. But we have so many athletes that make these decisions based off of more of a shopping mentality of what feels good right here, right now, and not really thinking it through, looking at the long term, like all of the things, because the financial portion of it is a whole topic, and like that is a big piece of it. But playing for a staff who wants you to be there, who's willing to invest in you and willing to help you become a better person, better young man or woman, and try to develop you. Sports are going to end for everybody, and so there is so much value in understanding that in the process. And and it's not all just straight line decisions, right? Like some people tell you stuff you want to hear, and some people are fishing the market and like doing different things. Like so you got to be smart. Like you gotta work through the process. But like that would be my biggest thing when I help people as far as recruiting is concerned. Like if the numbers are relative and they make kind of relative sense between your options, my always question is, well, is it about playing or is it about everything else?
Right.
Because you got to know what you're going there to do, and it's crazy to even think that, but that is players in this day and age. Like it's a whole different dynamic.
You got to have your purpose driven situations.
Yeah.
And
Well, because some kids don't. I mean, they're going for other reasons. You know what I mean? School might be more important than the sport. That's a real thing. But the social life might be more important than the sport, which is the craziest one to me. But that's something that I've had conversations about where they're like, well, I want to go here because it's a bigger school and I'm going to have more fun. And I'm
Right.
like, yeah, but the odds of you seeing the field are pretty low. And he's like, well, I don't care about that. And I'm like,
well,
okay. Like, but at least you're honest, at least you're telling me what matters to you, and then you get to make that decision. That's cool. But and they may, if there's a staff out there that wants you to be there, wants to develop you, wants to be a part of the growth, I mean, that's the big picture typically for me. But yeah.
Side note.
Yeah.
We won our championship for
Oh,
fantasy.
really? For football?
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
The big wigs win again.
Yeah, let's.
I don't
see.
think we won last year, though.
No. We took third last year.
Own you
Yeah.
guys.
Who's
Our
the champs
league.
now? Wellington Heat.
This is our league. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
just
funny.
just got that notification, and that's fun and all.
That's awesome.
So with Sean not being here, do you have a prayer for today?
Sure. Yeah, lead us.
All right.
No problem.
Well, why don't we knock
Appreciate you
that
guys
out?
tuning in.
Yeah.
Good little one. We'll be on here this week. I do have a couple of people that I got to follow up with for interviews, but we'll get to that hopefully this week and get one or two people on. So, all righty. Dear Heavenly Father, just want to take a moment to say thank you for today. Thank you for Dave. Please watch over us as we continue the podcast and continue to try to reach people and just share what's on our minds, but then also try to influence and help people along the way. Watch over Sean as he's traveling. Make sure to keep them safe and as they're moving, and they'll be on the road and moving around. So please watch out for them. Just want to say thank you and gratitude for allowing us to wake up today and hopefully go out and make a positive impact. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. And for Sean out there in Kentucky, man, enjoy that Southern comfort and all that good stuff. We'll probably cross paths sometime Thursday. We'll be in the air and you'll be on the ground. But safe travels to you, and maybe you'll be able to jump on at some point. So, but that's it for episode 51, ABCA, and a bunch of other random things. So thanks for joining us.